You're listening to the Positivity Hour podcast, hosted by Darshaun Smith. Strap in and buckle up, and let's get straight into it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Positivity Hour, episode 140, or 94 rather, not 45. I don't know where I was going with that, but in today's episode, we're going to be talking about a lot of things, okay? I want to talk about the state of the world right now, okay? The good, the bad, the ups, the downs, how and why I became the positivity god, and a little recap of 2015 and why I started, this platform I have where I try to spread more positive energy into the world than I receive on a daily basis of negativity. All that and more after the main topic animation. You already saw the intro, so let's go.
Time for the main topic.
As you can see, we're out here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, right next to Interstate I-380. The I-380 portion, or specifically the 3 before the 80, means this is a interstate that splits off from Interstate 80, but doesn't come back to meet up with 80, because it's odd. If it was even, then I think technically that means it's a big loop and it comes back. Fact of the day, if you wanted to know something about the interstate numbering system, that's not always the case, but that's the case here in Iowa. So I say all that to say that the world today, the world we're living in all over the place. Obviously, I'm here in Iowa with my corn shirt on. I'm here in the second largest city, so it's an urban development, just for you. I'll spin the camera around. For everyone who's listening, then obviously you're not going to witness this, but currently, I moved the wrong one. One job. We're currently by the Alliant Energy powerhouse in like the 5th Street parking ramp. It's really tall. It's like 9 stories. As you can see, there's the DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel. There's the Iowa River Tower, but I think someone bought it and renamed it. The Roosevelt Tower right there. You can see the Cedar River in the distance and all the train tracks next to Quaker Oats. There's, what's it called? Air Gas, and that's not Ingredion, it's the other people, but I forget. If you look really far into the distance, you can see Mount Mercy College and some other institutions of higher education like Co. And now that we're pointing this way, you can see the place I went to middle school, and you can see my home. It's somewhere over in that direction. And then, the Verizon Tower. There's more little tall buildings over there, but we'll just leave it back over to the interstate view for now. But like I said, to provide context, I'm in Iowa, little hunky-dory, little, not too much going on here. It's a great place to live life, raise a family, retire even, but it's the place I call home. I say all of that to say that no one really lives here, not too much happens here, and it's not too controversial, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely more of a conservative place, and I'm definitely more of a left-leaning individual. And over the last week, it has become a very, I don't want to say hostile place, but just some ideologies from elected officials have sparked some debate amongst the citizens of this great state in this region of this America we live in, In particularly, it's the Congresswoman Marionette Miller Meeks and, Charlie Kirk. This is like your time capsule moment. He was assassinated in front of his 2 kids and everything. That's kind of tragic, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of not so positive, I know he was a conservative figure who, used his freedom of speech to say some pretty crazy things, he had some good talking points here and there when it came to business and money, but then again, he also had his own feelings about, race relations and all of this other stuff going on in our country. We're not here to talk about all of that. I'm just here to talk about Marionette Miller Meeks and how she was like, we need to name some buildings at the University of Iowa after him. And I remember I went on my Snapchat story and really just was like, woman, this is ludicrous. Like, he has no relation to this state, at least to my knowledge. I've done a little research. I've not done a lot of research, but we have a very serious gun control problem in our nation right now. You know what I'm saying? The data shows that when there's less guns in people's hands, less people get killed. A few people still gonna get killed, but You know, literally when I forget which president it was, if it was Clinton or the guy before him, the Democrat before him, there was an AR ban, okay, assault rifle for the foreign folks out there. And like when that was happening, you know, we saw a near 50% decrease in shootings, especially with those types of weapons they banned. But when the Republicans in power came through and wanted to let that ban expire and let everyone live their American dream and own some weapons, like I want to own some weapons. Mind you, I'm a left-leaning individual. I need me a Glock, okay? I need me a little, you know what I'm saying? Not because I'm trying to go on a strike, or not because I'm trying to go kill somebody, but I'm an American. I want a blick too. Like, why not? But the problem is when you're giving civilians military weapons or weapons that the military can't even afford, and then they go crazy or they get to some extreme right group, like the guy who killed Charlie Kirk, or extreme left, you know, we're not gonna leave them out, but in this case, an extreme radical on the right, and then they just start killing people they don't agree with, or killing people they don't like, or killing people that, you know, differ with their opinion. I say all of that to say, Marinette Miller Meeks was talking out her ass when she said that, and I think that probably was the craziest thing I've heard this year. And that's why I had to be like, yo, like, I don't know, maybe if I have the time, I'll, like, and if I can find it, more importantly, I'll put the screenshots of what I was saying on the screen, and like the responses I was getting from people. But that aside, like, the main point of what I was talking about here, and the main point I want to talk about for this episode, now that you have some context, is like, there are a multitude of things we could be doing to improve the status quo, to improve the quality of life, to improve the state of this great nation that I love, that you love potentially, you know, or have some affiliation with to some degree, because, you know, people from all over the world watch this podcast. I know this is going to be a slightly more controversial one, you know, you probably didn't come for the political take, you know, and I'm not here to give you one. I'm just here to provide some positivity to the world, you know what I'm saying? Seeing a man get gunned down in front of his 2 kids and his wife is tragic. So why the hell are we talking about naming a building after him when we know things we could put into place through politics and, you know, reference groups and just like mom and pop marches, like the Moms Against Gun Violence or whatever. You know, we have a multitude of things we could be doing to actually change the world, rather than being like, for political points, let's name a building after him so I can go up a few ticks in Trump's playbook. Donald Trump didn't even care, y'all, okay?
People are watching all of these videos and cheering. Some people are cheering that Charlie was killed. How do we fix this country? How do we come back together?
I'll tell you something that's going to get me in trouble, but I couldn't care less. The radicals on the right oftentimes are radical because they don't want to see crime. They don't want to see crime.
Worried about the border.
They're saying, we don't want these people coming in. We don't want you burning our shopping centers. We don't want you shooting our people in the middle of the street. The radicals on the left are the problem. And they're vicious, and they're horrible, and they're politically savvy. Although they want men and women sports, they want transgender for everyone, they want open borders. The worst thing that happened to this country, because I've already solved inflation, costs are down. Look at energy costs. You're going to have $2 gasoline pretty soon. I've solved just about every problem. The worst thing that happened to our country is when we let 25 million people in, many of which, and I say 80%, should not be in our country.
I'm sorry, but what the hell was that, bro? Like, one, homie didn't even answer the question. And then two, when homie wanted to answer the question, he blamed the left people. But like I said, bro, we're not going to go super far down this rabbit hole, but the guy who killed Charlie Kirk is from Utah. He's a Mormon. He's a white guy. He's not transgender. He's not anybody Donald Trump just described right there. He's 100% homegrown radical American. Come on, shape up. Lock in, DT. Come on.
Y'all got to realize the way the world works, okay? This is for the real positivity hour folk out here. a lot of us are just cogs in the system, and that's a big reason why I started this positivity platform I have. In 2015, I was tired of seeing police kill black people, kill people that look like me. I was a little 14-year-old, and they kept gunning down 14-year-olds. Fuck, I thought I was next, bro. Like, for real. I was scared of the police. I'm good with the police now. Like, if it's my time to go, bro, it's my time to go. Make me into a martyr. Emmett Till me, bro, for real. But, like, I'm not worried about that because I'm just trying to be the change I want to see in the world. And when I kept seeing all this negativity, I was like, I need to just say something. I need to speak to the people. I need to let them know what's on my mind. And I said, this is crazy. We need to do something about it. Here's what I think we need to do about it. Here's what I'm gonna help to make that happen. And why can't we all just freaking stay positive, man? Like, why can't we all understand that we have more to gain as one than we do as many? But what do I know? At that time, I was just a little 14-year-old. Now, I'm 24. It's 10 years later, and I still have this platform. I have this podcast. I have a following on Snapchat, following on Instagram, following on Visco even, okay, where I post some photos from the marching band and other client work and stuff for the business. But I say all of this to say that, you know, in the wake of Charlie Kirk dying, and in the same day Charlie Kirk died, there was like 4 school shootings that like didn't get any coverage. And it's like, why are we becoming numb to this as a nation? You know, that's a big question I have for you watching this. Put it in the comments below. I'm not asking you what we could do about it. I'm not asking you what new drill we should be teaching the young people to prevent a school shooter from getting into their place. I literally saw a video on Instagram the other day of a teacher being like, our new door is designed to where you can fit a chair in it and it locks it so you can't get in. So the shooter's gonna have to shoot us through the door, but the door is bulletproof, so we're good. And it's like, why the hell are we just like acknowledging like that's normal? Like, that's not normal, bro. That's not normal. It should not be normal. That's not how we should be living this little thing we call life. And it's a tragic thing. But like I said, let me know what you think about that, for real. But all that aside, going forward, what's the plan here? Okay, obviously this is a positivity podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about the world from a positive light. This is a podcast where we, you know, help people become better. This is a podcast for individuals who are tired of being the same and who want to level up, so on and so forth. So how does this podcast, you know, help that? How does this podcast help push you along your story? Get off my glasses, little bug. That's crazy. It does that because it makes you think. A big reason why I became the positivity god is because I questioned what I was seeing. I didn't just see it and go on with my life. I asked, why is that happening? What can I do about that? Why isn't anyone else doing about that? What are the people in power saying about this? Why are they doing the things they're doing? This question, why? Oh my goodness. I'm so glad. Mom and Dad, Charity and Yusuf, I appreciate you, okay? Thank you. Step parents too, Kevin and Geneva, okay? Thank you for instilling into me the power to ask questions. Side note, I had a substitute teacher in 2nd grade who I want to make a video all about, because I remember she was in my music class and she said, no asking questions if it's a what if. It's a hypothetical that doesn't exist. I understand why she said that as an adult, but as a young kid who was trained to ask questions about the world, that scarred me. That changed me forever. Inside note, we'll talk about that in a few episodes. But thank you to my parents for teaching me to ask questions. And that's the whole reason I started this podcast. That's the whole reason I have the platform I have today. That's the whole reason I want to help people be able to do that as well. Because when I was able to ask questions, why are the police killing people? When I was able to ask questions, why aren't the good police stopping the bad police? When I was able to ask questions, why isn't anyone providing a positive perspective? Why isn't anyone talking about the good in the world versus the bad? Why does the news only cover bad stuff 95% of the time? But then 5% of the time they talk about the most random, like, oh, this dog is up for adoption. Oh my God, you know, little positive story like that. You know, I don't have answers to all of these questions, but the moral of the story is this episode and the ones that are going to come after this are going to be in the style of the content I was making 10 years ago. It's going to make you think. I'm getting back to my storyteller vibe, okay? I'm getting back to my storyteller bag, okay? Because the purpose of a storyteller is not to tell you what to think. The purpose of a storyteller is to give you questions to think upon. So for today, think about this. What's currently going on in the world? We get it, bro, you vape. Oh my, I'm not gonna lie, that was, wow. Nice car, bro. But yeah, he was vaping. I saw some white clouds coming. Okay, moral of the story, you know, the questions I want to leave you with going forward, you know, ask yourself, like, what's currently going on where you live? Like, think about your local politics, think about your local community board, freaking think about your HOA, you know, like think about wherever system or situation you're in, think about, you know, what's actually going on. And then number two, most importantly, think about ways you can get involved, whether that's showing up to a local city council meeting and letting your council people know, hey, I'm not cool with you destroying this park to build another apartment building that's going to be $4,000 a month that literally no one in our city can afford. So it's going to be bought by like some folks in China so they can just use it to Bitcoin mine in it on the low, you know? Or, you know, maybe less specific example than that. That's crazy. I've never shown up to a city council meeting and said that before. Like, literally, I'm not lying. I just came up with that. Like your school board, you know, if you're not happy with the food your kids eat, you know, maybe you don't think they should be eating canned green beans, you know. Maybe you want to encourage your school district to, like, up the food budget dollars so they can have fresher fruits and vegetables, like stuff like that. Think about ways you can get involved, think about where you can get involved, and think about how you can get involved. And we'll regroup next podcast episode. So long story short, last point here, moral of the story, have a great day, okay? There's a lot of ups and downs you're gonna experience in this world. There's a lot of adversity you're gonna come across in this little thing called life. But you get to choose how you react to it, okay? When Charlie Kirk died and all the conservatives were like saying this and that, and the liberals were saying this and that, I got to choose what I wanted to listen to, and I listened to both sides, and I made up my own damn mind. And because of that, it made me sleep better at night because I wasn't just following what other people were saying. I did my own research, and that's what I encourage you to do as well. I'm not some conspiracy theorist. I just want to help you think better about your life, okay? I just want to help you level up and be the best version of you could be. And with all that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, unsubscribe, hate, comment, follow, unfollow, share, or report, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Episode 195, the grind don't stop. Let's make it happen. It's a great day to have a great day. I love you, and stay positive and get the bread. We gone. Woo! Yeah.
You know the song is called Gangsta Love 'Em, but I don't really love shit. I'm married to the game, got on my knee, you know I does this. It's a great day to have a great day. I could've died in my sleep, but I'm so fortunate I got a chance to wake up and live my dreams. I'm fortunate I get better every day. I live my life, I wake up and I do what I want. Yeah, I love my life. I don't hang on the west, you know I'm from the east. I be working so hard, yes sir, keep your eye on me. Yeah, I say I work hard, but I know I can work harder. This ain't Carter 6, but I'm saying my songs are harder. You know the goal in life is to work hard, cause they said that will set you free. But in reality, that turned me into a slave. Yeah, a slave for me. That's tough, that's something they don't talk about. If you want a simple life, don't take that business route. Go get a 9 to 5 and work for somebody else. But realize, the more you work for them, the more you build their wealth. Man, I'm talking today. It's like I'm speaking about my real life. What can I say? Cause either way you wanna look at it, your life gon' be hard. But as for me, I'm trying to work for myself and buy a brand new car.